this thing. It doesn't do anything, but you can pose it.
Okay. All right. Y'all ready?
Oh, yes.
Ready? Okay. And 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? For another episode of Let's Talk Landmark, and I forgot to change the episode number.
What are we on? 38?
We are on 38.
38.
We're on 38.
Holy crap.
Wow.
All
We're
right.
doing just one a week this month, but holy crap. That's good.
Well, it's not bad. You know, it kind of freezes up for some other stuff, so which not too bad at least. But the
Like
bad,
swim meets.
I think the only really bad thing about one a week and what day we picked was it's before they would normally do a Landmark Live.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, but they're not exactly doing it very often, so I don't think
yeah,
it matters.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we did get a little bit of a tidbit this past week or the week before of stuff that possibly could be coming into the game.
Woo!
Well, come on, Muri.
Hey, I got to
It
do
was
it.
all
last-
you.
Come on.
Sorry.
Where's Doifit in a soundboard when you
We're
need it?
getting more voxel storage.
Exactly. We got more
Yes.
voxel storage coming, which is great.
Tim opens up his template storage on his show today. He's like, way the hell over.
Way. I'm like almost a million over because
That is so lame.
I picked up Thunderdome, so I have the old template of Thunderdome and I have the new template of Thunderdome. But when it picked it up, now I can't make templates at all.
So, well, send the old template to yourself and a copy to
Send it to your
uh,
inventory.
I just
Tina.
need to delete the old one.
Yeah,
New one's better.
the new one is a lot better. It goes like super deep down in, and there's like a really big room at the bottom of it now, underneath the top level. So there's like two really big areas to fight in, which is pretty awesome. And plus, we did a lot of new texturing and stuff because we got all those new textures and stuff. And
Don't you be complaining about not having enough voxel storage. Oh my God,
I
Willis.
am. I got 4 characters, but I spend most of all my time on my normal account, and I don't have to hopscotch around trying to find the darn thing. I was on my main character looking for the Karen statue.
It wasn't there.
It wasn't there because I made the thing over on Timma 2.
Oh man.
So all my templates for it was over on Timma 2.
Anybody notice that Tinma looks like Ponce de Leon?
Get one of those little fluffy hats and all that.
I need one of them funky hats now.
And a rapier.
So I did.
Probably got one of those.
I don't know about Ponce de Leon, but maybe, I don't know, D'Artagnan.
No.
Come on!
Ponce, yeah, it's Ponce.
Oh, man.
Somebody put a picture.
We're not entertaining Devlin enough. He looks kind of bored.
He does. And definitely, welcome back, Devlin.
It's
What's up,
so good
guys?
to have you back,
Freaking great
Devlin.
to have you back.
Fun show this morning. Oh my God.
I'm
And
so sorry I missed it. It was miss the show or get in trouble
was-
with my boss. I kind of decided to skip the show.
let's see.
So we had Carr, Devlin, Pantera, Dyfit, and myself. And then, of course, all of our guests, regular guests, but it was the crew. You know?
and me.
Yeah, and you were
Sorta.
there.
Sorta. I'm always sorta when I'm on Geo show because he can ask me a question. I could be in like on the John or something, and he's like, "So Timma," I'm like, I'm like trying to hurry it up so I can answer his question. It's really crappy.
Chandra, yes, it is. It's sunny. It's
Really
bright.
crappy,
here.
huh?
I've got all
Oh
this.
my
See,
God.
there's the sun right there.
Oh, you got 2 sons just like Landmark.
Yeah. And then there's the-
Are those orbs? Are they insect
The new ones
orbs?
or the old ones?
That is something else I could complain about. I hate the new orbs.
Oh, they're miserable.
I hate. They look great for planets, but they suck as orbs.
Yeah, they do make good planets.
They do make great planets,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you know,
indeed.
I liked it when it was a solid ball of fiery light.
Mm.
You know,
Without the little black pieces in it.
yeah, not them little squiggly, squaggly things all over it. Let's see. Hold on, I'm trying to think of all the different stuff that we've kind of ran into this week. You were on the show today, and where the light was changing at the front of where a cave was, right? Or,
Oh, hey, wow, that was beyond weird. Someone
yeah.
had leveled the landscape, and so we're looking at this nice plateau, and I stand on one particular spot, only on that spot, and wow, the sky went like dark yellow. It was weird.
everybody
It
was
a
like,
tornado was- I swear, I thought a tornado was coming.
you thought it was cool. I thought it was cool, but everybody else was like, ew, that's nasty.
I thought it was cool too, but it looked like a toxic waste dump. I mean, the whole sky
I liked
went
it.
green, haze set in. You couldn't see anything.
But imagine if you could control that on your claim.
Yeah, no
I've been,
kidding.
I've been a
That would
huge
be cool.
advocate for atmosphere control on claims for a long time, man.
I need to go back and rewatch the video with interview with Steve Klug, because I remember I could almost swear I asked him about that volumetrics, where you could select a box and control what was going on inside that box. You know, such as like smoke and fog and all that kind of stuff. I'm wondering if that has been totally backpaneled to where they're not going to do it.
Who
That's
knows?
a good question.
No
It might
idea.
still be on the list, but they're back burner like a lot of other things.
You know, it's because it was one of those things where volumetrics, I could select an area, I could control what was going on in there, such as, you know, like fog. If somebody walks into the fog, they take damage. You know that sort of thing. You know, just by which they could already kind of do with the box that is set there for linking and triggering, because it knows when you walk in it and walk out of it.
I like that idea. Then we could do things like farm bunnies when they give us critters in the game. So, well, Tim, we could
tell you,
aggro
man.
1,000 bunnies and be running around and drag them across the claim, and they all get killed by the fog.
I am
You're gonna
not.
make a bunny glue factory?
I am not giving up on the bunnies. I am not. I'm not giving up on
and then
them.
after they all die, he can twerk.
Oh God.
Just like that. You know, like that. That's what I need to do. I need to make an animation for the front of Let's Talk Landmark. To where it's just me sitting there going with a twerking motion. That'd be awesome.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah,
Would that be awesome? Okay.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
No.
I'm not giving up on my twerking emote. That's my staple right there. I've
That
got.
might reduce our chances of getting more deaf guests.
Yeah.
Nah. Like I said,
and to the dab guests, this is what what your community wants from you: twerking and bunnies.
twerking.
Put that in the game,
bunnies.
we'll be fine. Apparently,
Twerk bunnies.
Twerking. and
twerking bunnies, even that's even better.
Combine the two tasks, they'll get done quicker.
Well, I read this forum post, and it was not too long ago, but it was not on our forums. It was on like a GameSpot.com or something like that, where somebody had made a post, and at the bottom you get where you can like put feedback or whatever. And the guy basically, was basically hating on the game. And one of the main things that he said, he was like, the surface is dead. He said it felt super dead, and it took him forever to find anything that was living on the surface, including people. Okay? So, I was like, well, shoot, bunnies, and problem solved, So,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying to give us all the wildlife at one time, but bunnies,
Killable bunnies.
killable bunnies.
And you know what? I'm good with them not looking like they belong there. Just give us the stuff from H1Z1.
It wouldn't take
As
much.
it is. Just, wow, this looks out of place. Smack!
Yeah. Well, I'm in agreement with Katina on this one. You could take the spine of the bunnies from H1Z1, take the actual model itself, pull it back out, redo the model just a little bit, but the spine should be the same. The character motions should be the same. The hopping and the running and all that stuff, it should be the same.
It's the same engine.
Yeah, the only difference is the model itself. You know, a retexture,
Skin.
and
Yeah.
mainly a retexture. You know,
It's all it needs. So
so
it's not really 2 months of work if they really would just do
I
that.
want those things to look like they were drawn with crayons.
and you got Toza said, and giant spiders.
Yeah.
No.
Just for Geo.
Yes, for
No.
Geo.
I'm good with the giant spiders.
Aliana
Oh,
size
God.
spiders.
It'll be entertaining. Oh God, not that spider.
We went over to Aliana's build today on the show. I'm doing my walkthrough of the what her name? It's not Kinos anymore. It's
Takish.
Takish, whatever. I'm doing my walkthrough of the Takish stuff right now, and so far, I've gone through about 10 people. Y'all probably can't see that, but 10 people is what I got today, and that took about what, like hour and 45 minutes or something, dude. But there's only like 2 pages worth of people that submitted so far, and man, it's a slow process, you know, going through and actually pointing out things that could be fixed and what kind of stands out to me and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Metallical says, we are seeing an incomplete product. It will not be their job to put content in the world. It will be ours. We just don't have all the tools. Most people do not run around the islands. They port from place to place. All rabbits will do is add crap no one will see. Just an opinion. I
have
don't
an
believe
opinion
that.
on
I'd like to
I
see
have an
that.
opinion on that opinion.
So would I.
Go for it.
The reason why most people run around the islands and don't actually look around at anything is because there's nothing to look at besides the actual builds. Give us something else to do, and we might do it.
Besides, you can implement achievements for them little bunnies too. Just like
Who would not like the title The Bunny Slayer?
I would kill for that one, dude.
Yep.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
And the Bunny Foot Factory would be built.
Yeah, the bunny glue factory would be built. I'll put that up to Metallical and the Blockheads there to hook us up with a bunny glue factory or something. Rabbit foot. Wait a minute.
That's what I
No.
said.
No, it'd be
Rabbit foot.
bunny wipes.
Oh! You can put a conjunction in between them two, right there. Bunny Foot Toilet Paper Company. Rabbit Foot Toilet Paper Company. Yeah, there you go.
For your lucky wipe.
Yep. Oh, I got it. High five. High five. Come on.
Oh my god.
You're in wins. Let's talk landmark. We all go.
It's great. I mean, there's so many things you could do with those things when they kind of gets put into the game. I mean, how many times you killed them? Killing certain colors of them. There's what if they drop something special?
Rabbit's foot.
Just a really low percentage special item that drops when you kill one. You know,
A speed potion.
Cosmetic bunny bet.
yeah, it could be like a set of bunny ears or something like that. People would freaking go nuts over that.
Put a bunny tail on Tenma.
And only if it's a black one. You know, kind of like. Never
Punks
mind.
they did it on.
Yes. But, I mean, there's so much you can do with that. You know, maybe a carrot on a stick. Yeah, that'd be great, Tozep. A carrot. A carrot on a stick. Can you imagine that? Like a pole coming off of your head and a carrot in front. I mean, just come up with like whatever you can think of. I mean, stuff that would be like totally simple, to model out. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
We don't know what they have just in storage. And me personally, I think I know what they have in storage because half of it is sitting in our folders that he still ain't freaking given us yet. Sorry. Ranting. Can't help it. What's up, boy?
He looks really bored.
He's upset.
Oh.
Why?
Hey,
What'd
wanna-
you do? What'd you do
You
to
want to do
him?
the show? You want to do the show?
Ginma Ken says, I think they should focus on linking and triggering. Yeah,
Honestly,
I agree.
We've been waiting on that for a while.
I absolutely agree.
7 gates. We still don't have 7 gates and a timer yet.
Yeah,
I
I
could
think
do
it's a
without the
fantastic
gates almost
idea.
if they give us a timer.
Yeah, a timer in itself would be awesome. Because, I mean, let's put it this way. They implemented PvP, and they never finished it, so nobody PvPs. They gave us linking and triggering, and people don't really do a lot of linking and triggering because we don't have all the tools to be able to do linking and triggering properly.
Well, that and there's really no incentive to do anything like that as of right now. A lot of the builds that they've been working on and focusing towards haven't included linking and triggering. They haven't included PvPs. I mean, there's a reason why people don't focus on that stuff because the developers don't focus on that stuff from our perspective. I mean, it's maybe that has something to do with it too.
And Zach said, wait a minute, Tozeb, sorry. Tozeb's made the point, where's my sound emitters?
Yeah, they said in the beginning they're
Yeah.
coming soon.
Yeah, where are the sound emitters? That's another fantastic question.
So, I mean, there's still a heck of a lot of potential for the game, guys. I mean, it's just a matter of time. And I understand that. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, they warned us, and there's no surprises here.
Yeah.
It's just the frustration comes from we all know that this thing has so much insane potential, and it's hard to be patient and sit and wait for it to come.
We
And-
want it now.
Hell yeah!
And I want to read something off to you guys. I found this on the floor.
On the floor?
I found this in the
On the
forums.
florums? The florums?
Florums.
Yeah.
Florums.
I found this in the
Sorry
forums.
about that.
I found this in the forums, and I'm going to read it off to you guys, and I'd like to hear you guys' feedback on this. This was a post by Angel's Heart, and everybody knows Angel's Heart,
Close my door.
and hopefully I can give them justice and not like totally butcher whatever it is they say here. Just recently, I have been reading some negative posts on the Landmark forums about how some people perceive the game and then go on to post what they feel is wrong about Landmark. But what I want to say is thank you, not just to the developers, but because they have been thanked many times for the work they have done creating what we have within Landmark at the moment. But thank you to you, the community who has stayed here and made the game what it is, a warm and friendly place to be. Thank you to everyone who developed tools within the game to help the community, or add new shapes within the game for us to use in our builds. Thank you to the people who take the time in their busy lives to collect all the pieces and the boards that have been created to make them into wonderful museums and swap meets for people to visit and be inspired by. To be able to collect what they need from these places and use within their claims to make their game experience better. Thank you for everyone who has ever taken the time to create a tutorial video to help others understand how to use the tools we have, making building and creating that little bit easier for everyone. Thank you to everyone on a daily basis will go and help people who go on on a daily basis to go and help people in the game with nothing more than a thank you as a reward for their time. I recently took a break from Landmark. Life took me away from this wonderful community we have, but I am super excited to be back creating new stuff and look forward to the next workshop. Without this wonderful community we have, Landmark would not be what it is. Keep up the good work, everyone. Keep making wonderful things, and thank you.
That is
Wow.
Right on.
fantastic.
Angel
Spot
Heart.
on. Spot on.
Well said.
I don't go into the forums very often, okay? But normally when I got to the point where I hated going to the forums because certain individuals, and I would love to call your name out and poke you in the eyeballs. But it's very rare I see that kind of feedback.
Mhm.
And when I saw that, you know, it was a big jumble of text, you know, but once I started reading, I couldn't stop.
Do you have the link for that?
I
So
do.
everybody can go in and respond and whatever.
I would love for everybody to go and respond, give a like, and all that kind of good stuff if you agree with what was being
Exactly.
said there.
Yeah.
I was just blown away at it. I mean, that was one of the first big positives that I've seen on the forums in a while, and I'd love to see more of it.
And he's basically telling us how it really is.
He's been away for a while.
That's
He's coming back.
how it
and-
is. Yeah, it's no different. Exactly what he said is exactly how it is in the game at the moment.
Yep.
And
Rumpf.
yeah, I mean, we're in a lull, if that's a good word for it. We're in a lull. In other words, a low point right now, just because we don't know exactly what's going on when it comes down to, Columbus Nova, where they want certain timelines to be on certain things, just because they're kind of in charge now. We don't know. And for that reason, of course, we're going to have less stuff kind of coming at us, but it doesn't mean the stuff is going to totally stop. We're still going to be getting stuff, just not quite as often as what
Well,
we
you
did
got
before.
to think of it this way: the man hours are still being spent over there just as furiously as they've always been spent,
Mm-hmm.
and so we're going to see the results of that eventually. Okay, and of course, it's really going to pile up. It's going to be a crap ton of stuff. So, it's patience. But great post, man.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was a diamond buried within all the is on the other pages, and I was like, whoa, just kind of blew me away, and I definitely encourage everybody to go and.
We had a fun time
respond
running
to
around
it.
this morning during the morning brew. It was stupid fun. There was a lot to see out
It's
there.
always fun. Always fun.
There's a lot to see out there. It's just crazy. Just over 3,000 claims are tagged in the gallery, and we're still finding stuff that's not tagged every day. Cool stuff.
And I have one other one that I wanted to, one other person that I want to call out.
I didn't do it.
That's what you say now.
But it's because of how they responded to a troll that I want to call them out. And Mura knows this person very well. You do, trust me.
Guilty by association.
And this goes to Gold Draco. I'm going to call him out on this because his response to a troll is like +1. Actually, it's like a +5.
Plus 10. Give him plus 10.
It's worth it.
For the reply that he said, that's one boy's opinion. For the rest of us, we can see the value in Landmark. Still, nothing comes close to the experience. Simplistic, very clean, no personal attacks or at all. In my eyes, I didn't see one in there.
Nothing.
Awesome reply. So, +5 to Gold Draco on that one.
That is a clean kill shot right there.
That was
beautiful.
like this. That was like
That was a
this, and
sniper shot. That was a sniper shot.
it was just like
That's perfect.
that was right there, You know.
He wasn't
Bam!
even there, and he took the shots.
And I normally don't like dwell over like forum stuff, but that kind of mentality with the trolls and stuff, you just take the wind right out of the sails, and I love it.
Hey, Tim, can
Okay.
we talk Talkish for a few minutes?
Of course.
Dude, so two things. Today we went and visited Fugazi's claim on the Morning Brew. Holy crap! Wow, I saw stuff this morning I didn't know you could do in Landmark, and then on your show, you went to go look at all the entries, the current entries, to give your critique and advice, all this stuff. And again, it was like, I'm seeing stuff I didn't know you could freaking do in this game with voxels.
That should be on the Landmark bumper sticker. I saw stuff.
And then another one that says, "How do you do that?"
How do you
And
do
then
that?
And then the shirt that says, "What's that over there?"
What's that over there?
Squirrel!
Squirrel.
Dude, hey man, come on. Let's talk about this Talkish thing. This is it is distinctly different than anything in the game to date, and it's inspired builders. There's people who've risen to the top and really risen to the occasion. So.
I don't. Okay, this is my personal opinion. So, and it does not reflect on the show or its creators. Okay, wait a minute. Maybe one of the creators.
Reflects
but still,
on one of them anyway.
it reflects on one of them. But this is the way I look at the Talkish build. It should have been held back for another 6 months, another 9 months or whatever. It still needed to be done, but now I don't think was the best time to do it. It's kind of like the Dark Elf build. Dark Elves were kind of tossed into the mix way too early for what it was they were looking for.
We have tools and techniques.
Whatever we did first would have been
Now.
too early.
Right. But we
And
did...
no matter
Not
what, we would
dwarves.
have
No
had to go back.
dwarves would have been good.
Right.
I think dwarves
Yeah.
would have been great first.
Yeah, I
The,
mean,
the
what
shape
detail work on
language for-
dwarves.
But the shape language for dwarves, it's
No, I
It's
can.
been done
I wasn't here originally when all that stuff started up here, so I can kind of look back on this and say, yeah, you guys should not have been allowed to vote on that. You guys should have started off simple, started with something like dwarves, and then saved things for like Talkish and Dark Elves for last because of the intricacies that are going to be involved in that.
Exactly.
And that is all there is to it. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people aren't going to like that, but it's true.
And one of the main reasons why I see it in that fashion is because if you notice, there has been a really big downturn of how many people are active in the game. And even the workshops affect people coming and playing the game. If they look at that competition and they say, there's no way in heck crap I can build that, then all of a sudden they have nothing to build for. The competition helps drive player participation in the game. And when you push something that's way too advanced for what the greater majority of people can do, you're going to lose people in the game in its entirety.
What helped, though, to be honest, what helped was what Fugazi did. I mean, his modular pieces open up to the public. That's what we should have. Is more modular pieces for these kind of harder competitions, because you can make it your own. That's what I've been doing. I've been using the sewer pieces from him, and kudos to him, man. Great stuff, because it gives people who are beginners or moderate builders the opportunity to make something as their own from other people's stuff.
And I'm going to take this point in time. If that's the kind of stuff you want, and that's pretty much all you want, you might as well go ahead and hire Fugazi to make templates of everything that you want us to build and give it to us so we can destroy the crap out of it.
Well, okay, so what if, just to be a voice of dissonance here, if they loosened up the style guides a little bit? If it wasn't something like the Talkish stuff, for example. It's beautiful stuff. It really is. And some of the
it's
builds
tight.
that I've already seen, it's tight. It's
It's
very,
like
very
this.
difficult to do. What if they had a certain idea, or like if you aim something roundabouts like this and use these textures, then we can consider this as part of the Takish thing. It would add a little bit more variety to the entire thing. Like Kinos, for example, a lot of the Kinos builds looked really samey, and that's not right. I mean, it's supposed to look like there's a neighborhood and a community going on, but it's not cookie cutters. That's not good. And give us a little bit more variety. Maybe if they loosen up the competition rules a little bit. What do you think?
I actually disagree with you guys about how tight the style guides are. If you look at things like, I don't know if you've seen it yet, Tenma, but the bridge that Portivar's been working on versus and I know you've seen the bridge that Risen Strike was working on. They're very, very different bridges, but they're both very, very Takish. You couldn't take the two and stick them together and make them one bridge, but you could have them both in the same world and have them both be Takish, of very, very different styles. And they're both really following the style guide. It's just a matter of how they apply it and how they push the style guide. Fugazi's build that you visited today was also, it's very Takish in a lot of ways, but he really pushed the style guide and he did it well. And it's off style in some ways, a little bit, but it's also very, very Takish, and it's off style just enough that it works. And I think that's unfortunately a difficult thing to do, to get it off style but still have it work. But it's something that you've got to be able to do, because they need the guidelines to be really clean and clear and understandable for someone who's trying to work within that guide. If they didn't have a really, really delineated guide for Kinos, I never would have been able to do something Kinosian, because all I tried to do was fit the style. And by fitting to the style, I learned a lot, and I was able to make it happen.
Well, I mean, the way I kind of look at it is, it to me, it's tight. It's really tight. Just because, if they come in and go to pick, okay, this one is going to be a winner, this one's not going to be a winner, and you put the two side by side, if there's, say, the roof has too much curvature in it versus the one that's next to it, which has a small curve onto it, they can eliminate one just because of the curve shape, because it may not be exactly what they're looking for. We went to the one building today where it looked like a spaceship sitting up on top, but the roofs that was in the courtyard, Katina knows the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, the square one with the white, the ivory and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And, in my eyes, parts of it was awesome, and it was, to me, it was on style guide, but there was other parts that were not. But the build itself was freaking just wickedly awesome, and I had to put it down as a wild card, because it could have, from what Katina says, they may have used this particular material in the hierarchy in their society or something.
Yeah, they said using the ivory and the light colors are more for the royalty, the palaces, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
And
it
that
could be
particular-
thought of that way.
That particular build, I think that there's like three things that were really off style with it. If one of those things were off style and the rest of them were brought more in line with the style, I think it would work really, really well. It would fit Takish. But having those three big things that were off style, it pushes the envelope too much. And it's just one of the things you got to work with to see if it's going to fit.
I'm going to go ahead and invalidate my own opinion here. I think my problem with the Takish stuff is that it seems very alien to me, just very alien indeed. So I don't know. It doesn't seem natural, and it's beautiful stuff. It really is, but it doesn't flow properly in my eyes. It looks very strange. So maybe that has something to do with it, because I look at it and I recognize it. It's beautiful stuff, but it's very difficult to try to understand. Why is it like this? Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Was that a nuclear flash that we just saw? To be vaporized.
Curtains moving around. Sorry.
Well, I still think that the game is missing certain primitive tools that would have made this competition a heck of a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely agreed.
Especially when it comes down to having a cylinder deletion tool. I mean,
Did
That
you
would
see
have
Verlin's
sheets.
recommendation for that today?
It's still
Yes, I did.
it's sort of-
Verlin is recommending that we have a cylinder option on the line tool. So instead of a square line tool, we have a round line tool. That way we can
that's
use it
a
for
good
making
idea.
a cylinder or a cone or whatever. That would be perfect.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
That is like exactly the kind of input people need to put out there. If you've got an idea like that, put it out. But the way I'm kind of looking at this is, that's one that we've been needing. I mean, people have been begging for that since Alpha. Is a cylinder tool, and we've never got it. The cylinder delete tool would open up so many possibilities in what you can do.
Didn't you or somebody else find some primitives floating around inside our folders inside Landmark?
I think it was Shatari that found
Yeah.
that.
I think it was Shatari, too.
I think it was Shatari. But the fact that we don't have them, it limits us that we don't have it. So, to being able to make those curves that just kind of flow like this, and even a reverse cut, which that goes back into the opposite direction in some sort of way, it would have made it easy to do those roof sections that kind of just does like that double S curve, and instead of having to, okay, well, you got to put it here, and then you got to cut this way, and then you got to take that and put it over here, and then you got to flip it around, and then you have to like wax a butt and then slap it one good time, and then take that and paste it into this. You shouldn't have to do all that.
No.
I'm truly impressed though with what everybody who's been working on the Talker stuff have done.
Yeah.
I've seen stuff that I didn't know was possible in the game.
Yeah,
Just
it's
freaking amazing.
And did everybody hear we have our new dates for the competition?
Oh, please tell.
Please do.
Tuesday, July 21st at midnight. I presume Pacific because it doesn't say. Submissions end.
7 days.
Yep, voting ends at midnight on July 28th. That's the following Tuesday. Once again, I presume Pacific.
7 days. So they got 7 days to the end of the competition and 7 days for them to do the actual judging, I guess.
And Josh implied on Twitter the other day that there would be a workshop show this week. He said he'd be running through builds and giving feedback again this week. So I assume that means there is a workshop show.
Okay. And that's something that I wanted to call them out on too. Wishy-washy.
Yep.
First they said they're not going to give feedback, and then they said they're going to give feedback, and then they say no, we're not going to give feedback, and then they go back to it again. It's like poor communication on the interior side of things. Stick to your guns, one way or the other. No matter what you do, it's a military thing. Gio can tell you about this one. Even if you're wrong, you're always right. Okay?
Sounds like a woman.
Just like that. Make a decision and stick to it. Start pumping out them emails to everybody that's on the dev team. Be like, look, you're not going to do this anymore. But I will say that if you say you're going to give feedback, you give feedback to everybody, whether they want it or not.
Which is kind of what you were doing on your show today.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you. for that.
Katavari has a good point. He said, I'd like more and better tools, but at the same time, do any of us want the tools in game to reach the complexity and difficulty as Photoshop?
It would
And
never
myself,
reach that level.
I would say no. If I wanted to learn Maya or some other sort of 3D modeling software, I would go learn that.
There are people in this game that have done nothing but use the cube for the whole entire time they've ever been in this game. They've never used the circle. Well, they might have used the C key to switch between circle or something like that. But they have probably never used any of the other primitives that are sitting in there. I guarantee you there's people out there that's like that. They've never used any of the other primitives. But the fact that it's there gives you the ability to do it and not change anything except for adding another icon. That's it.
Yep.
Devlin
that
has a
the-
different opinion. You should speak up, man.
No, I agree with what was said. I
Okay.
absolutely agree.
Okay. I misunderstood what you
I-
typed.
No, I agree with Katavari. I certainly do indeed want these tools in the game. If you lower the learning curve of the game itself, because it's not going to be like Maya or ZBrush or anything like that. It's not going to be that difficult. It's incredibly simple to build in this game. It's not Minecraft simple, I will admit that, but Minecraft is basically Legos. I mean, there's some learning curve involved, but that's what makes it kind of unique and fun. The more tools that we have access to, and the easier it is to do more complex shapes and more complex builds, it will add to the uniqueness of the game itself. It will improve the overall experience.
It will
Give us
add
more.
It will add more value to the game itself.
Oh yeah.
Okay, hypothetically, let's kind of step back out of the box for a minute. This game never existed. And they're trying to create a way to make games fast. And this is what they've come up with. We have all these tools and stuff like that, and it was never released to the public. It was something that they're developing to sell to other companies to be able to make games. What would they want in this as an engine? Something that's easy to create? That right there should speak for itself right there. Easy to learn, easy to create, and fast output. And that's what most game developers are looking for when they go to companies like Epic Games and they get their Unreal Engine, or they get Unity and create a game out of it. They want to be able to create their game like that and not have to spend 5 years in the creation of a game, because by the end of that 5 years the technology has totally changed and they're having to start back from scratch again.
Now, I want to address something here real quick, because I agree with what Tenma is saying here, but Metallical pointed out something in chat here. He said this is a consumer-faced product, not an industrial-faced product.
Yeah.
Sorry, doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. Imagine if we all had the ability and the tools to do whatever it is that we had up here in our heads. Because we have all had that problem where we want to build something and then, oh, wait, we can't because we either are limited by what we can do in the engine. It's not often that happens, but it does indeed happen. Or we're limited more often by our experience and our knowledge on how to actually get that done. What if there was just a shape tool that added S-curves into things? Talkish stuff could have been done like that.
Yarnilla, you're quiet. Don't make me smack you.
You might like it.
Yeah, I might like it. Yeah.
Uh-oh. I never knew you were a masochist.
Are you surprised? Really?
Come on, he
Not
loves you.
really. No. What do you think, Yarnilla?
Well,
Good opinion.
the
I think
tools as they
Yarnilla
are.
should have had more coffee.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah, the tools as they are, they should, they can add more stuff, but the more they add, the more it's going to get complex to people. Yeah, because if you look at the add tool, for instance, you've got the fill option, you've got the C option, you've got this and that, and it makes it kind of, when you look at the tools, you're like, what the hell am I going to do here? What can I do with this? What can I do with that? They need to make it more simple. Like Devlin said, have a solution base where you can say, I want to make an S-curve now, just like that. Or I want to do a round circle, just like that. I want to do this, just like that. That's how they should be looking at things. Easy peasy.
Yeah, but if it's too easy, it's not going to push us to learn.
Well,
It's not a matter of learning. Why do we need to learn? I mean, we need to learn how the game basically works. Yeah, sure, but why do we need to learn such complex and intricate things on what to do when it doesn't really make any difference in the long run?
I don't
Yeah,
mean
it's not
necessarily more
developers.
complex, but by trying out a few different things to make something work, we've come up with unbelievable things we never would have gotten to if it was just handed to us.
and see,
Those fun
honestly,
accidents like, oh, look what I just did.
a lot of times difficulty actually spawns some really cool ideas.
So Bob Dobb has Voxel Farm. He's got the SDK.
So do I.
Yep. And so I got on his channel with him, and he showed me something fun, silly that he'd done. There's a space shuttle model that he imported into the game, and he used it as a brush, a building brush, paintbrush. It's so the sky's the limit here. It just wow.
Yeah,
Now,
but you guys are saying it though. It's a game.
Mm-hmm.
Most people just want to log into the game and build stuff, mess around with it and build stuff. They don't want to go and have to go and manipulate a voxel 20,000 times till they get to that point where they're happy with the shape. They just want to log in there, click around on their tools, put out the shape they're looking for, and that's it. Because it's a game. Yeah, we're not developing
I've got
here.
I got something that will back that up. Right now, we do not have a voxel editor. Okay? We do not have the ability to manipulate individual vertices on a voxel. And to actually do that, we have to go through these huge libraries like the one we saw in Geo's show today.
Jeez, that was nuts, man.
And what was it? 10 to the 23rd power or something?
10 to the
26.
26.
I was close.
Wow. Yep.
I was close. And imagine when this tool, this magical thing happens, and they add a little bit of extra tools that makes that easier to the point where there is no more voxelmancy.
Yeah, instead of having to have a 10 to the 26 power, add that up, guys,
Exactly.
out there. That is a mind-numbing number of zeros. So add up that number, and instead of having to look through a voxel shape, maybe it's this one. What if we just had thing click, bend it, put it in, done.
Or bring it up, type in a number, boop, 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 boom, you're done.
Yep.
That right there, that is improving the tools, adding on something extra that you may consider, too much for most people. Well, yeah, it's true. It might be too much for most people. But put one of them big squares in front of that same person and have them go, what the...
Now,
Okay.
let me go ahead and devil's advocate here real quick.
Okay.
If this can't be done in the game, fine, but tell us.
Yeah.
Simple. If what we're saying is really just not achievable with what is to be done in the game here, that's fine. Let us know, so we will stop going on about it.
Right.
I mean the hard stuff, all the stuff that people found out, microvoxels, megavoxels, offset voxels. It's fantastic that they found it. Yeah, but now that it's been found, if they can implement it into the game, like Geo said, I think it was today in the show, just per click, you want to do an offset voxel, that's how it should
Click.
be done.
Just a click.
Click, boom, I want to make a microvoxel. Boom, click, I want to make a megavoxel. Boom, click, I want to have an offset voxel. That's what we need now because all the stuff's been found out. Okay, a few bits are coming along, but that's what you guys are there for. The people who like doing this kind of stuff and messing around with it. But there's plenty of guys who just want to go there and go, right, I want to use an offset voxel, and they don't understand exactly how you make it and stuff.
So the part of the original vision that Terry and Dave shared was Landmark being used as a tool to build MMOs, to create worlds and build MMOs that they can host over there. And so now after the acquisition, to me, it's the acquisition could have been inspired somewhat by being able to license a pro version of Landmark to other game companies to do just that, to create their next game. Because the engine is freaking beautiful. ForgeLight and Voxel Farm in this particular...
They could sell, they could take an industrial version of what we
10
have.
grand a client. I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah, we could have, like an industrial version of Landmark that they could sell to other companies to make games in conjunction with ForgeLight. So they're making money on other people making money. Okay. Now I want to call out something that Eleven said here. Really, if you think that having something that's specific of a location of a point makes a build, you're missing the point of the game. I'm not. It's the fact that if you have somebody who's fresh in the game and they have issues and they can't figure out why this point is not going where they want it. They can select that voxel, click the editor, and all of a sudden it kind of, like zooms it up or makes it where they can see it and see the shape of that voxel. It makes them understand how the voxels work more. They can be able to modify that one corner to where they want it, click OK, it's done.
Yeah, and besides, I mean, if you do any kind of building at all, any kind of complex building, you've run into this problem. You bend something, you do something kind of weird and a little bit different, you paste it down, and why in the hell is this here?
Yeah.
How do I
Where did it come from?
take it off and put it back? No, okay. What if I turn it and then put it back? Okay, I moved it now, but what if we just eliminated that entire confusion part of the game?
Mm-hmm. Well, see, Wildflame is kind of understand what I'm talking about here with the
like
wireframe, where
Yeah.
you actually see the individual voxels in the world that has a texture to it. So they can go in there and be like, ooh, do, 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 and they can like play around with things. In that fashion, it would make understanding why things do things the way they are a little simpler for somebody that may not be as intuitive.
Metallical has another good point. He said should use non-intimidating UI for this. Checkboxes, size sliders, or number boxes. The whole side of the screen is going to be options for this. That is intimidating to the casual players. I want a microvoxel? What size? Where's the microvoxel in the voxel space? Do you want to negative paste it? Is it visible? He has a good point. It's going to be tricky to implement that tool without making it overwhelming.
So
and that's
here's
what
numbers.
they need to have a good UI person.
Yeah,
for.
but this is where the beta community comes into play. We as a community can figure out what is the most logical way to do this, and then give them an example.
I'm in that too, Devlin. I'm in that too. Go ahead.
I know. No.
Go ahead.
It's you guys' show.
Go ahead, Devlin.
You're the guest.
Okay.
You get to talk.
So, simple to use UI, right? One more checkbox that just says editor, voxel editor. You click that button, you zoom into first person view mode in your character. You then see everything in wireframe mode. You can select a voxel or paste a voxel down. It's very close to your actual screen here. You can bend and distort the voxel just by mouse clicking. Click OK, you now have a weird shaped voxel that your character can move around and put down wherever it is he wants to put down. Simple.
Yep.
I see it in a little different way than that.
All right.
Basically, I take my selection tool, I select that one voxel I want to edit, I click the button for the voxel editor. It basically does like a zoom in. The one that I am wanting to edit is highlighted. Every one around it is in like a thin gray line, so it's barely visible, but you can see that it's there. But you can see all the connecting points from the other voxels to it. On the actual voxel itself, each corner has a number, 1 to 8. And on the side, you have a slide bar. And that's it. You slide it to where you need it to be. You click OK, you're done.
I like that even better.
Eckelberg?
It's like, it's about as easy. Okay, I know that this is the corner that I'm working with. I move the bar just a little space, and maybe right
You'd have
beside
to have
it.
3 slide bars for each corner. There's 3
X, Y,
axes
and
that
Z.
it would move on.
Yeah, X, Y, and Z
Yeah.
for each, but that's fine. Just have check marks. Corner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, it's-
You click on one, it opens up X, Y, Z. Move the sliders around, close that. It closes back down. Move
Or-
on to the next one.
Or just
It's
like,
better to just click the corner and drag it.
the way it is now. Yeah, with little arrows.
Yep.
You got little arrows.
In the end, it's easier than
Drag
these
tool,
arrows.
you know?
You just click that ball and drag it where you want it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's however they want to approach it. The way I kind of look at it, but as long as they do it correctly and make it as easy as possible for somebody to figure out just by throwing it in front of them, that is usually where other companies screw up. That's why a lot of people, when they look at Maya or 3D Studio Max or something, it's intimidating as crap, and they're like, I'm not so sure about that. It's because of the way their user interface is set up.
Okay, well, let me, because I'm reading chat here, and I'm getting a lot of getting a lot of negativity from you all, and I feel as though we're starting to slip away from each other here. I will go ahead and respond with exactly the same question you guys have. Fine. If you agree, fine. Help us work on this idea then. Submit some ideas for a UI.
Yeah. Photoshop, buddies.
If you don't like what we're doing here, come up with your own idea.
Yeah, break out paint. Draw up something. I mean, that's the whole purpose. You know, we're trying to like start up a poop storm here. That's pretty much what we do here on this show is start poop storms. But
Tenma,
yeah,
we need to have Metallical as a guest one of these days.
if he'll come on, yeah, bring him on. I'd love to have him on here. If
You've
he's
been
willing
called
to
out,
come.
Metallical.
Thank God we can't hear Geo.
Yes, indeed.
I need-
Metallical, yes, you need to come on the show, man. And Zach, we need you back too.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I'd love to have Zach come back on the show at some point in
Yep.
time.
I'm turn my microphone down because my son keeps coming down. And having...
I also want Zimnal on the show too.
That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
Zimnal.
I'd love to have Yarnilla on the show.
Yeah,
I'd
it'd be
love
nice
to
to
be
have
quiet.
Yarnilla on one of these days.
Yeah, Yarnilla. Yeah,
Have you guys
I don't
seen
know about that
him
Yarnilla guy. He's kind of shady. You gotta watch that guy.
I heard he's kind of quiet.
I have an otitis.
A
Okay,
what?
so I'm otitis. I'm fighting with an otitis.
I have no clue what that is, but okay.
It's a middle ear infection.
Oh,
Oh, ow.
I got you. And you're wearing headsets. I applaud you.
Yeah, dude, that's tough,
Good
man.
God, dude.
Uh-oh. There's all
Uh-oh,
manners of cuteness behind Geo.
You better, Gio, you might want to catch her because she's playing with your swords. And if that thing falls, you're going to be
Ouch.
like wanting to beat yourself up. But, you know, kind of get the idea, right? You know, toss around ideas. I mean, don't bash another person for the ideas because they may see things a little bit differently than you. It's so good. You know?
Yeah, no, I'm glad that we all have different opinions about this. That's fine. It creates a good melting pot for whatever it is we're trying to achieve in the game.
Hi.
Hi.
You can hear us. Hi.
Hey! Hey, when are you going to host the show?
Yeah, you
probably
need
do
to
a better
host.
job than your daddy.
Yeah, you do a better job than your dad.
You scared her.
I
Congratulations.
have no idea what to say to these people.
I don't want to talk to you, weirdos.
They're probably staring at your kitty cat.
Probably.
Meow.
Not you. Oh no, Geo's back.
Yeah,
Stop.
you-
talking about it.
Yeah.
We told her the truth.
Mhm.
She's an alien. She didn't know.
We told her the truth. She does a better job than you do.
Yeah, she should
She
host.
believes it,
It'd
too.
be a better show.
Indeed.
That's a good point, Katavari. Why not just be able to grab the corner of a voxel cube, move it with your mouse pointer to the position you want? And sorry, losing my voice. And can even use the tweak mode on it as well.
Yeah.
It's
Tweak mode
exactly
handles on the
That's
corner of a
kinda
voxel.
what-
That's much easier.
That's kind of what I had in the idea for. Maybe I didn't convey it correctly, but yeah, that's exactly what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
I
That is
mean-
exactly what we're talking about.
How you do it, it's kind of up to you. Hey, tell him I'll take him on with mine.
Tenma wants to duel.
I will duel you with
Hold on,
mine.
hold on.
I'll say, with mine. I'll take you on. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Oh, you couldn't hear you. There we go.
Hey. I'll take you on. Let's go. Let's go. Yours
Tenma
versus
wants to duel you.
yours versus mine. What's up, buddy? What's up?
Nothing.
Have you beat up your dad yet? You haven't beat up your dad yet. What? You're letting me down, man.
In Landmark, yes.
It's
And,
the only
and
place-
And I also got this sword from a seminar.
Awesome.
Nice.
Mm. Well,
So, you gonna learn how to use it?
oh, yeah. I already learned how to use it.
Okay, now use it on your dad.
Halfway to his second degree black.
Halfway to his second degree black belt. That is freaking awesome,
Awesome.
right?
About halfway.
Awesome.
Cool.
Keep it up.
Good job, Chet.
Yeah, hey, when you get your next belt and you get your next stripe, you have to come up here and flaunt it on the show. Be like, look what I got. Y'all ain't got this. You gotta do that.
So I guess for board breaks, instead of one, I have to break 2 boards.
Awesome.
Wow.
You can break 3. Pfft, that's nothing. Don't hand me that. Just take your dad's head and go. Koof. It'll break them all.
He's got a hard head.
It'll work.
Tim is talking smack.
I am talking smack.
That's what he does.
Tim talking mad smack.
I say he don't even know I'm talking smack about it because he ain't got the headphones on yet.
Tenma was being very nice,
Yeah.
He better,
as
'cause
always.
my son will kick his ass.
Yeah, he was told to kick yours.
Yeah, I've been coaxing him every time you give him the headset. I'm like, so when you gonna kick your dad's ass yet?
I didn't say that word.
Yeah, I kept it clean. But he said he had to break 2 boards. I was like, that's not a problem. You just take your dad's head and he'll break 3 of them. Which is good. See, that's the kind of bunny ears I was talking about.
Yeah,
Yes.
You kill little bunnies until you get bunny ears.
I'd wear them.
It'd be awesome.
Totally.
Like to see Temma wear them
While he's twerking.
on the show.
With the bunny tail.
As long as I wonder how many it would take to get the color I was looking for.
What color are you looking for?
I'd wear black. I'd wear black.
Black and hot pink would be the rarest.
Because it would
Wait,
blend in
what's-
with my black hair that I have for my character. It would be like great. So it looked like it actually was coming out of my head.
I see.
I think it would work great. Slip. Right there. Get thumbs up.
Awesome. There we go.
This is not going to end well.
Things good, that's for his kids.
Woo! Woo! I can see it now. Are we talking about the sword, or are we talking about just having the kids all over you?
No.
The
there
ears on the
being
head.
live footage of me on Twitch with bunny ears. It's not going to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, too late. It's there.
Just,
Duck your head down. Come on. Duck your head down.
And she's making sure they're perfectly adjusted.
Keep on going.
Lower.
Back
Gotta go
up.
lower.
Back up. Back up. Back
Yeah, there
up.
you go. Now they can
now
see
down a little bit. There you go. Right there.
So everybody's going to get bunny ears, and the next week we'll do support the critter cause and give us critters, and everybody wears bunny ears.
Oh my God. The Rut Morton and Devlin said, "Oh my God, the tick." That's great. That's great. Oh my God.
Yes, me. Yes,
Well, all is well with the world. My car is returned home in one piece.
Yay!
good. That's a plus.
And that's your new car, right? I don't know. Yeah.
And I trust a 19-year-old driving it. It's scary.
No, not this guy.
So what's up the rest of the week, guys? What's everyone got brewing?
I am not doing Takish. It's official. I've
Okay.
said it. I'm done. It beat me. I give up.
I'm doing Talkish and streaming a lot. I am so glad that they extended the deadline till Tuesday, and I got Friday off of work, so I'm not really worried about having time to finish anymore.
Awesome.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
So did the game being unavailable for that period of time set you back, or?
Not really, except that I was out sick last week on Wednesday or Thursday or whatever. Thursday.
Oh, yeah?
And I was really hoping to be able to play and make some progress while I was sick, and I wasn't. I had to take a nap instead. So it was good for me physically, but not good for my progress.
Well, and half your time home, the servers were down with the DDoS.
Yeah.
I honestly, let's bring that up because
Yeah,
weren't we?
we have totally
Yeah.
skipped over that whole entire fiasco this week, which was the directed denial service attacks on Daybreak Studios as a whole,
Yep.
which was started because of something that happened back in December. If you remember, back in December, they got directed denial of service attack because of some stuff that's been happening with SMED.
And then on Christmas it hit Xbox Network and PlayStation.
In December, it wasn't about SMED, though. That was about Sony overall.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the response that was done by SMED made it even worse. And then all of a sudden, this particular guy in this group, I guess, waged all-out war on SMED. So they tried to bring down his plane. They issued a bomb threat to his plane while he was in it.
Well, they didn't try. They did.
Yeah. And they landed the
It
plane.
went down.
So, of course, SMED and everybody that was on the plane had to come down from the air. Okay? We had, let's see, on top of that, we had where they filed incorrect income tax stuff to the federal government in his name.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah, apparently. And
Credit cards.
So identity theft, the whole
Yeah.
host of-
Wow.
so they hit him like with pretty much everything they had. So he's still trying to recover from all that crap. And then recently, the guy, they caught him. The kid's like 16 or 17 years old. In my eyes, he's old enough to know what is right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But they
Yep.
basically slapped him on the hand and told him not to do it anymore. If it had been here in the United States, he would have been in prison at that age.
Same as Germany.
Exactly. And the thing is, there is still legal stuff going back and forth between SMED and this guy. And I'm not saying names. I'm staying the heck out of that whole fiasco.
But it heated up on Twitter and prompted these brand new round of attacks, which basically knocked everybody out of all Daybreak games for
Yeah.
an extended period of time.
They knocked him
Almost
down for a
2
good
days.
day. A good
And it
day.
affected more than just Daybreak. They didn't attack. Well, they attacked Daybreak, but via their ISP. So other companies that use the same ISP, which is an ISP, it's a commercial ISP, it were affected. We had
wow.
impacts at work. It didn't bring us
Wow.
down, but it severely crippled our network connection.
Now, basically, they use zombie computers, basically. It's basically where they have released out some type of a backdoor Trojan or something like that gains access to other computers, and those particular users don't even know that it's being used for this function. They have a little computer that says, okay, we're going to attack this guy. And not only are they attacking, they're not attacking from their own computer. They're using all these zombies, and there could be hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of these zombies, and they're all trying to connect to the same place at the same time. Now, having that much bandwidth eaten up, it blocks out everybody else, or slows them down to the point where they can't do it or can't do the logins anymore.
It happened while we were at Bob Dobbs' claim.
Okay,
I couldn't get out.
but it,
Signal 1.
but it eats up all that bandwidth that they have. There's only but so much that can go through a hole. Okay. Now, think of that in internet terms. They're sending packet after packet after packet down this pipe, and your packet can't make it through. That's basically what they did. And it's it's rudimentary in for most cases for what they did, but it's effective. It's very effective. And well, Murin, she knows probably more about it than I do, and I'm an IT guy.
I'm not a network person.
I'm a network guy.
You know more about it than I do.
Okay, but still,
Well,
I mean,
I'm glad they extended the deadline, so that was great because it happened in this very difficult competition. And we got that. Did we get that word today that they were doing the extension?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. It was put
Well,
out
they
by
sent out.
Terry,
they-
right?
About 3 hours
Yeah.
ago now.
They posted a few days, or on Friday, that they were going to extend it at least through this weekend, and today they confirmed that it'll be through next Tuesday.
Who? I mean, wait a minute. Where did he post that at? Was it on the forums
Twitter.
or Twitter?
On Twitter.
Twitter.
Okay,
They need to put it on the forums.
it needs to be on the forums too.
Because there's so many people who don't check the Twitters.
I saw a link for it on the forums. It's the
Okay.
Twitter
Good.
feed on the right.
Cool.
It just popped up a little while ago.
Let's see. Zexadu says basically they're making the main internet mice carry junk mail so that no one can send real mail. Exactly. Very good analogy. I love that. So, who have we missed on what they're going to do this week?
Dylan, Yarnilla, and you.
Yeah.
Tag,
I'm
you're
not
it.
doing nothing.
Yes.
Declan, I have to ask. I heard a rumor that you might be having time again. Are you going to start up Nightlife again?
I don't know. To address that particular rumor, the call center where I was working actually doesn't exist anymore. So, or it may not exist after the 28th of August. They're laying everybody off. So I
that
cut ties when I
sucks.
did. Yeah, and I have some time now, but the simple fact of the matter is I have to find some kind of employment, and I have to find it quickly. So God knows. While in the interim, I'm going to have a little bit more free time. But on a permanent basis, can't do that no more.
Okay.
And we had a blast having you on the show today, man. It was
Mm-hmm.
cool getting the crew back.
I miss being here. I like being here. I like
Glad
you
you're here
guys.
tonight.
Indeed.
Devlin's really on my wavelength, and a lot of times I don't have to say anything. Devlin takes care of it. It works out great. Yarnilla, what about you, dude?
I'm going to be finishing off some bits and pieces here in game, and then try and get some rest
Okay.
and get rid of my ear infection because it is killing me.
And you're doing streaming
so-
now. You're doing streaming now too, and
In German.
in German,
In German.
which is awesome. And for those that don't know, what time is that starting out for the German community? What time is it
It's,
for you over there?
Tuesdays at 21:30
Okay. So,
when we do the streaming.
How long have you been doing that? What kind of audience do you pull, if you don't mind me asking? I mean, is it a fairly decent-sized group of people that you got
It's-
going on in Germany over there?
It's relatively small at the moment.
well, when the news gets out, it'll change.
No,
I
that's
mean,
that's why I'm asking. That's a fantastic thing, dude. Keep it up. Keep going.
Yeah. Yarnilla, it'll definitely help people be engaged in your stream if you keep the chat open.
Yeah, I had it off today. I was a bit distracted.
yeah.
Well, I understand with the earache.
Oh, what is it? What was the old timey way of taking care of it? Roll up some paper, stick it in your ear, and light it on fire.
My dad used to warm up
Hey, now,
cream
it's the truth.
and pour warm cream in your ear to melt whatever was going on in there. You'd have to lay down for like 2
Ugh.
minutes while the warm cream was in there, and then you sit up and it drains out.
I'll tell you a better
Oh,
way.
God.
I'll tell you a better way, and this is what I learned when I was in the military. Hydrogen peroxide.
Yep.
Yep.
Take hydrogen peroxide, pour it, and just lay there.
Mm-hmm.
Lay there for about 10 minutes.
Bad.
It sounds bad, but it'll
Yep.
start bubbling in your ear, and it's this really tingly, weird feeling. And after it sits there for about 10 minutes, then you just kind of go like this and get it all out. Take a Q-tip and lightly pull out the residue of whatever's left in there of the hydrogen peroxide. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
It works wonders.
It does.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess
How's
that
you?
it's all for
It's
me,
you.
right?
Just
Well,
you.
Yep.
I'm going to be going through the rest of the competition entries as they pretty much come in. And the way I kind of look at it is if I can keep up with them as they come in, it'll be easier to populate, by the time it's at the end. I'm keeping notes on everybody's stuff between now and the end of the competition. I'm writing down notes like revisit later on. If they nailed it on the head, if they haven't, I've even put little stars, on
No
here.
gold stars.
And I've basically pointed out the things that I saw that was wrong. So if anybody contacts me in game later on, I can say, well, this is what I found. So you can always ask me what I found. I can point them out to you, or I could refer you over to our stream. You can go back through our past broadcast and be like, oh, okay, that's what he's talking about.
So that when I call you out for not visiting my claim, you can be like, no, I visited your claim on this day at this timestamp.
Exactly.
I actually remembered what I was talking about with that. It was that you visit, the Morning Brew visited my claim, you were AFK.
That was
Yeah.
probably why. And see, there was the way we did it before was Geo started at the front, and he'd go as far as he possibly could, and then all of a sudden Pantera would pick up, and he would go for a distance on it, and then there was Geo went one part of the time, and then I'd pick it up after that. It's so that we could cover all.
So much.
There was so many.
Ferlin's here. Hey,
It
dude.
was
Yo,
ridiculous.
Berlin, what's up, man?
Hey,
And it even
Berlin.
took almost 2 weeks.
And we still don't have Berlin on the show.
It's
Gotta
because
get
he's
him in.
usually at work until 10 o'clock
Yeah.
Eastern,
Yeah.
I still
9 o'clock
want-
Eastern, something like that.
He's another person I want to get on the show. So, come on.
I don't know if you saw Metallical's response earlier. He said he'd do the show if he doesn't have to do a webcam because he doesn't have a functioning webcam.
Nah,
And then Verlin's still at work. Boy.
Yep, gotta have a webcam or a recent picture. Probably
Like
with
you
bunny
don't with-
ears, and a
Bunny
clown
ears.
nose. Bunny ears and a clown nose, Metallical.
I've got
You might.
an interesting week coming up. Hoping, fingers crossed, I'll get a rough cut of part 2 of the movie out to you guys
Oh, I hope so.
this
Awesome.
weekend.
Well,
Definitely.
out to us, not y'all yet,
Yeah.
because we beat him up if he puts out a part before it's time.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. But got that going on, and we're the Morning Brew. I'm hoping hoping Devlin can join us for more days this week. I don't know what his schedule looks like, but the invitation is open.
God, I've
It's
already
there.
broken.
Oh my god. Sorry, Gio. Timma, use a picture of an Amish, and that's Verlin.
It would have to be a hipster Amish.
Yep. Yep, kind of already broke Tenma.
That's great. That's awesome. But yeah.
And we're not touring Talkish yet officially on the Morning Brew. That will start after the competition closes on Tuesday. So we'll probably start on Tuesday.
The difference in between Geo visiting your claim and me visiting your claim is I'm going to beat the crap out of you.
One of them is happy to see your claim. The other one is not.
Well, it's not that I'm
No,
not
no,
happy to
no,
see it.
You're
We're
happy
both
to
happy
see one
to
of
see
us,
it.
and not happy to see the other.
Right.
That's what I was going to say. That's the difference.
Wait,
Tenma gives
usually-
constructive
So
criticism.
you're happy to see.
Geo
Yeah.
tells you everything he loves.
Right.
Yep.
So you take the two and you put them together, and you got a clean slate way of looking at your build.
And I'm there to make sure everything stays put while you sit on it.
And Devlin's there with Dyfed to help Geo squirrel into no man's land. Squirrel!
I do not help him squirrel.
Lies. Lies.
no proof.
But
Actually,
yeah,
the best way to look at Temma's critique, if he doesn't say something bad about it, it means he loves it.
it takes a
So
lot.
you get something good out of it too, depending on what you. Oh,
It-
he didn't mention that roof. He must like that one. Cool. All right.
Right.
Sometimes-
And I missed a carpet thingy on the floor today. I will say that. I totally missed that because I was looking up. You know, I totally missed the carpet that was on the ground, and somebody said they didn't like the carpet, and I just didn't notice it because I was looking at all the other stuff. So, you know, but you have to take it with a grain of salt with me, because I'm going to tell you, okay, you could have done better than this. You know, just because I can look at your build as a whole, I can tell you what level of a builder you are, and I can tell what you can and can't do. I've been around long enough, I can tell you that. And Murin is the same way. She could go to a build and do the exact same thing that I'm doing. She can tell you what level you are at and what you can and can't do, and if you took the time to actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like today, I ripped Fugazi a new butthole because of all the little freaking distortions that he left in his build. Because I know he could do better.
He could on it.
Because I know he could do better. I've seen him do better. And if it's effed up, I'm going to tell him, hey, it's effed up. Okay. So with that, I think that is the end of the show. I better shut my mouth and move on. Okay, but you kind of get the idea, right? So definitely stay tuned this week. It's going to be a lot of fun on Gio's show and mine as well. My show is right after Gio's. You start at exactly 10, right?
05. 10:05.
10.
We have a pre-show though that starts at
10:10. Yep, 10:10. This is getting a little bit more accurate at this point here.
10:08.
Katavari has a very good point.
Okay.
He said at the same time when the devs are choosing, they don't care about voxel distortions.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's because they suck at it. All right? They
11:06. 10:0 whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, well, folks, the pre-show starts at 9:30 Eastern, and we show pictures. We got our screenshots from the day before that I took in the game, and from Twitter. All the screenshots people are throwing out there on Twitter. To help us get those, please put hashtag LX on your tweets, and I can easily get them into the show because it's a lot of fun. And of course, the slideshows get saved over on Twitter, so they're always there for posterity.
I need to check it, but I might have me a hashtag now, Gio.
Oh God.
You remember we were talking about 10 Ma?
Mm-hmm.
Number 10 MA?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I might go that route. I got to check it to see if it's actually being used or not. But if it's not being used, I think I'm going to use that one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Awesome.
That'd be cool.
We'll figure out what to do with that.
Yeah.
But with that, guys, thanks for having us for another episode of Let's Talk Landmark, episode 38. Bunny twerk. Hashtag. That's awesome. And we'll see you guys next week, next Tuesday at this hour for the next episode of Let's Talk Landmark, episode 39. And I think
Just name that episode
Pinnipod
now the Tackish Crunch.
and Domino usually and Domino usually streams on Tuesday nights. What time?
tonight at 11:30 Eastern.
8:30 Pacific.
Sweet.
And what were you saying, Muir?
Oh, I was just saying, let's just name next week's episode now. We can call it the Tackish Crunch. It'll be the last day of the
Tackish Crunch. I don't even know what to name this one yet. We'll figure it out later. Have a good one, guys.
Packish Crunch sounds like a cereal.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my god, I got an idea now.
Oh God.
All right, have a good one, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Cheers. Be good, everybody.